The Zephyrian Dominion had perfected warfare over 3 millennia. Their tactical doctrine was elegant in its simplicity. Deploy overwhelming force, demonstrate superior technology, accept surrender, integrate the conquered species as productive vassals. It had worked flawlessly across 47 star systems. They had not accounted for human stubbornness. When the first Zephyrian battle fleet arrived in the Sol system, Admiral Kexthera expected the usual progression. A few demonstration strikes on military installations, a demand for surrender, perhaps some token resistance before the inevitable capitulation. The blue-green world below looked promising. Decent population, moderate technology, resources worth claiming. The humans surprised them by refusing the first surrender demand. Then the second. By the third refusal, Kexthera was genuinely puzzled. The Zephyrian fleet had demonstrated their superior shielding, faster-than-light capabilities, and precision weaponry. Any rational species would have recognized the futility of resistance. Perhaps their translation protocols are malfunctioning, suggested Subcommander Velmar, his scaled features creased in confusion. The human response came through crystal clear. Come and take it. What followed was the most bewildering military engagement in Zephyrian history. The humans fought with ancient chemical rockets against antimatter cannons. They used kinetic projectiles against energy shields. They launched fighters that couldn't even achieve light speed against vessels that could fold space-time. And somehow, impossibly, they were winning. The first sign of trouble was when human primitive nuclear weapons started penetrating Zephyrian shields through sheer, absurd redundancy. The humans launched not dozens, but thousands of warheads simultaneously, overloading the energy grids through pure volume. "Sir," Velmar reported, his voice tight with disbelief, "they've turned their entire asteroid belt into kinetic weapons. The projectiles they're everywhere." The second sign was when human civilian vessels began ramming Zephyrian cruisers. Not accidentally, deliberately. Cargo haulers, passenger liners, even personal spacecraft hurled themselves into battle with suicidal determination. The third sign was the laughter coming over the communication channels. "Did you hear that one human pilot?" a Zephyrian communications officer asked nervously. Before he rammed the dreadnought, he said, "Hold my beer and watch this." Within 6 months, the primitive humans had not only repelled the invasion fleet, but had somehow reverse-engineered Zephyrian technology. Badly, inefficiently, and with absolutely no regard for safety protocols. "They've weaponized their faster-than-light drives," Velmar reported, his voice cracking. "They're using them as bombs, sir. They jump ships directly into our formations and detonate the cores." Admiral Kexthera watched in horror as human vessels, held together with what appeared to be metal tape and desperation, emerged from hyperspace inside his flagship's hangar bay. The war that was supposed to last weeks dragged into years. The humans, rather than being conquered, had become galactic pirates. They raided Zephyrian supply lines with captured vessels that looked like they'd been assembled by drunken engineers during an earthquake. The final insult came when a human fleet, cobbled together from salvaged Zephyrian technology and Earth construction equipment, appeared over the Dominion's capital world. "This is Admiral Jennifer Martinez of the Terran Revenge Fleet," came the transmission. "We're here to discuss your unconditional surrender." The Zephyrian High Council, faced with humans who had somehow turned garbage into a functioning war machine, agreed to terms. The peace treaty was signed aboard a human vessel that one Zephyrian diplomat described as held together by prayer and duct tape, armed with weapons that violate 17 laws of physics, and crewed by beings who considered death-defying stunts a recreational activity. In his final report, Admiral Kexthera wrote, "Recommend immediate classification of humans as unreasonably dangerous. They do not fight wars. They commit elaborate acts of vandalism with military hardware. Their victory was not tactical superiority, but weaponized insanity." The Zephyrian Dominion disbanded shortly after, its member species preferring independence to the possibility of encountering more humans. Humanity's counterattack had been so excessive, so completely disproportionate to the original threat that they had accidentally become the galaxy's most feared military power. They celebrated by declaring a galactic barbecue and inviting everyone.